Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Nothing Fancy Acres. I'm Nathan. So it's been a little while since we've done a video update. We've just been crazy busy. So that being said, we're just gonna do a quick run through, see what all we got going on, see what's new, see what's changed, and just show you guys what we've been up to. Gonna start off by saying that we did start up a Facebook page. It's called Nothing Fancy Acres. We already got like 350 followers. Thank you all so much. That being said, if you're on the YouTube channel, give us a follow on Facebook. Uh, Again, YouTube, we may not be as active now just because of the Facebook page. We're still gonna do videos here and there. Probably just the long form stuff, major projects that we do. But we're just kind of switching over to Facebook. It's a little more jump in friendly for us. We can do apparel updates. We can do quick pictures, stuff like that. It's stuff that you guys seem to really enjoy seeing. That being said, let's get to the meat and potatoes of the video. So, as you've all probably gathered by now, we are going to be putting horses on our property. We've got two coming. And so that's going to happen actually very soon. So you probably have seen the red barn. What you haven't seen yet is what was finished yesterday, and that is this big old project. So we had a fence installed. Now you're probably thinking, why didn't you do it yourselves? The cost of this fence was not prohibitive to us. We were able to pay cash for it, thankfully. And the reality is, at the end of the day, you can look at this and just see the quality. It's very tightly wound. We've got the high tensile electric, which obviously I don't have hooked up, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to touch that without freaking out. But that being said, for approximately 2,200 feet of fencing, almost 200 posts, a couple of odd spots, we wouldn't have been able to do it. They were in and out in a day and a half. Got the entire project done. And that includes everything. And so, that being said, we had it done by Evergreen Fence. They're out of Lebanon, and I gotta say, they were a little more expensive than some of the other quotes that we got, but the reality is, again, the quality kind of speaks for itself. They just did an amazing job. So what we got going on here is, this is kind of the riding area that we're going to have. So might be a little bit tough to tell in the video, but it's a pretty decent sized little riding area. Not sure yet if we're going to bring out the crushed stone to the entire area, because this will also be like a winter paddock for the horses. And so we've got that. Amanda has her tack room set up in there. There's the 3 stalls, 2 where the horses are going to go. That one's kind of going to be empty for now. We have some other projects that we've got in mind that we're hoping to pursue, maybe next spring. So we're going to keep that stall empty for now. So we went with a 12-foot gate there. That's obviously the introductory area. And then the rest of the gates, 1 here and then 3 back there, are all 10-foot gates. That still allows us to bring equipment in, but the 10-foot gates were a little bit cheaper. So back here, we've got 1, 2, and then 3 fields, or pastures, if you will. So we've got the 2 smaller ones up here and then 1 larger one back there. And then that fence going through the middle, it does split the difference distance-wise. And so in the wintertime, we'll probably keep the horses up here, just for the sake of, having them near their near the barn. So probably bring them in at night and all that. And then in the summertime, we may even end up still haying that back there. Now, it's not nearly as much. As a matter of fact, it's exactly half of what we were haying. But, it's still better than nothing. That, or we may just trim it down, keep it mowed, and let them graze back there. So that is what we've got going on there. the other thing, and I actually did try making a video for this, but the volume didn't seem to carry over. We had the chicken coop right there. It moved. So what I ended up doing was we got a couple of plastic pallets, and I zip tied them together in the center, or not zip tied, ratchet strapped them together in the center so that they would all stay together. And then we ended up pushing the chicken coop onto the pallets, and then we were able to drag the entire thing over to where it's at now. So that's about 10 feet from the barn. We're gonna have water right there, so it really makes it handy having the chicken coop nice and close by. Just kind of makes sense from an ergonomic standpoint. Trying to think of what else has changed. We trimmed up a lot of trees. That one got cut down, leaving the stump intentionally. There was a stump right there that got taken out. So, and then there was also a tree right over there that my good buddy Tom and I cut up the other day. And that is about it. So now that we have the what we called the big project squared up, again, it's not going to be long until the horses are here, and that's going to free up time this fall to get that running. That's my grandfather's 1948 case. That I had it running earlier this summer. Unfortunately, it burned oil like you wouldn't believe, and so pulled the cylinder head. It's got all kinds of cylinder issues. So there's a rebuild kit online. I'm gonna get that ordered at some point. We just needed to focus on that. Gonna get that ordered at some point and hopefully have that running by maybe Halloween or Thanksgiving. We'll see what happens. Oh, another thing. Pennsylvania people, you'll understand this if you've ever had to dig a hole in your yard. So in wanting to run water from the house over to the barn, we of course had to dig a trench. And we got to about here, and that trench no longer wanted to cooperate because of those, and those, and those. Those are rocks, by the way. Huge rocks, boulders. Not just any boulders. They're nice boulders, but they're big boulders, and they're a pain to move. So, managed to get about 150 of the 170-foot trench done. That being said, we're going to need an excavator to finish this part up. It's just, our neighbor came over. He was gracious enough to try it with his backhoe. Unfortunately, it just wasn't happening. It was just too intense. These boulders are huge, and so we're gonna get an excavator in next week to finish up the water line. That being said, yesterday I dug out around the house, got that water line put into the basement, and then my buddy and I were gonna plumb that in directly past the expansion tank. And I've got the 1-inch black pipe just kind of coiled up right there for right now. Excuse our mess. It's a lot. There's a lot going on. The other neighbor, the PPL guy, he got that all squared up. So the barn now has electric, and we have an electric fencer, so no risk there. We have a direct path to be able to bring the horses to the pasture, and so even with this massive trench, it's not end all be all, but we just want to highlight some of the challenges that we've run into. It's not been easy by any means, but as we come into fall again, the projects they're winding down, life's settling out. We're coming into a season of our lives where Amanda and I will just get to spend a lot more time together, a lot more time with friends and family. And so, to cap off the video, thank you all so much for hanging out with us, for being there for us, for supporting our dreams. It's been like hyper speed for the last 10 months, just from the time you know, even going back to when my dad passed away, you know, there was a lot of moving parts to all that, of course. And then it wasn't long after that when the opportunity to buy this place became available through close, you know, through family. Um, and ever since then, it's just been crazy, but in a good way. Um, Thank you all very much. You know, we've had a lot of friends and family support us and cheer us on and believe in what we're doing, if it even if it seems crazy at times. Um, but yeah, thank you all. You're all awesome, and we hope to continue to have you all on this adventure with us. And you know, just keep hanging on. Apparel's coming, stickers are coming. You know, we have all kinds of plans, and hopefully now that the bulk of the big projects are done, we can really start just winding things down and really enjoying it for what it is. Not that we haven't so far. It's just, you know, now we get to enjoy the maintenance aspect of it versus the creation aspect of it. Thank you all so much for watching this video. We hope you liked it. Again, if you're on YouTube, give us a follow on Facebook. We should have apparel coming up pretty soon. Our chickens are laying eggs pretty quickly. We're accumulating those. So if you want eggs, we should be starting to sell those in a couple weeks. We just kind of want to build a little stockpile for ourselves first, and then you know, again, if you're in the area, if you know where we're at, you know, hit us up. We'll start selling here pretty soon. We've got other stuff in the works in the meantime, but again, thank you all so much for just joining along. Keep in touch, and we'll talk to you all soon. Bye.